But let's talk. So you want to make the game easier for yourself. Find more things that you can visually react to and punish, and get more openings and opportunities without risking your stock for it. I love that. And then you said learning how to play a little more slow and disciplined, whatever that may mean. Yeah. So you said that you know how to play disciplined versus Puff, but not most other matchups. What makes you good at doing this versus Puff, you think?
Because she's really, really slow, and I can kind of keep her away from myself with laser and back air, and I'm really just trying to get her. Like, it's just the game plan is so simple. I just have to get her to 33%, and then I just have to like try to get her on the floor or like close to the floor, and then just try to down air her, and then I just down air her a bunch. Or even if I'm fighting her like on the platforms, I can just kind of jump off the platforms and be pretty safe like most of the time. And it just feels like I have all the control in the matchup, and it feels like when I get outplayed, I deserve to get outplayed, and I usually know what I could have, like what else I could have done. And I think I attribute that to her just being really, really slow, and she's probably like the slowest character I play versus, I feel like. Or at least it feels that way. I mean, I play Falco, so I can a lot of like versus Marth, Sheik, Falcon, Fox, I usually get outsped to an extent. At least just like dash speed, but Puff, I feel like it's kind of the same with Peach. Peach is just a little more complicated for Falco, but with Puff, it's just like she's so slow, so I feel like I have a lot of control. I don't feel rushed. I don't feel antsy the way where if I'm playing Fox or Falcon specifically, I feel like if I don't do something soon, they're just gonna like come in on me and get me. I feel like they're either gonna run up on me and then dash dance grab me because I did like a dare in place or a back air in place trying to protect myself, or even a laser in place sometimes. Or I feel like if I don't go in, or if I do go in, then I might get with punish. I might get dash dance grab, stuff like that. So I feel more like I have a gun to my head, and it's like I have to go and I have to be right now. And with Falco, I have this like I don't know, like this invisible guise of like, well, if I just do the right thing, like I can do anything I want, and that's probably spacey privilege. I don't know how many people think like that, but I'm just like, well, if I just nair shine at the right time, or if I just down air out of the corner at the right time, or into the corner at the right time, like it'll work for me. So I feel like I can be carried just by trying to time things well. But the thing is, I'm basically guessing, and I'm just guessing off of like my gamer instinct, and it's like I wait, and then I go in, or I just go in. It's just like just an instinct timing thing, rather than like a strategic, like I don't know, a strategic like thought out thing, or something I know is gonna happen, or something I have a good chance if I predict this, it's gonna work. Whereas a lot of times when I play versus the faster characters, it kind of feels like I'm just flailing myself at them. If you know what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I feel like that. So it's because she's so slow, it makes me feel like I have a lot more control. So like it'd be cool if I could figure out how to have more control versus the fast characters, which I know I'm supposed to do it like largely with laser, but it's just kind of hard for me.
Okay, so what's hard about it? Like, so what specifically goes wrong?
Well, one thing is if I'm shooting a laser, like if we're both not in the corner, like kind of center stages, if I'm shooting a laser, I know that if I, like my best ways I know how to get an opening are typically like wave dash forward shine, or nair forward shine, or like down air forward shine. Those are like how I know. Those are like my easiest like bread and butters of how I usually can get a combo started. And I know that if I do all of those, and people are expecting either one out of the three, I just get dash dance grabbed a lot, or just whiff punish somehow. Like maybe I run into Mark's snare in place or his fair in place, stuff like that. So it still feels kind of guessy, and I feel like a lot of times at some point I have to use like my nair or my dare to like, I don't know, maybe if Falcon is like naring at me, I feel like I have to nair through him, or if they'd like down air through him, or obviously I know like I can just back air or shield and shine at a shield or stuff like that. But sometimes it feels like I have to aerial like through my opponent to like protect the space, or to just like protect myself in the space and not get hit. What was the question again?
Oh well, no. I was just asking, like, how does things go wrong with lasers?
Oh, yeah. Um, I can usually do pretty good at like when I'm shooting them, not having that like shooting them in a way where they're not gonna have enough time to like run up and power shield grab me or run up and just like hitting me for laser. Over the years, I've gotten good at lasering at a far enough distance where like I feel like I'm safe. I feel like the position where I shoot the laser is not as much of a problem, although I'm sure there's something there. But I feel like it's almost always what I do after the laser. And I know that I do tend to, when I'm trying to play good and fast and hard and fierce, I do tend to laser and then either immediately go in, or I'll laser dash dance go in, or I'll laser dash dance go in. But usually after like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 max like beats, I'm gonna go in eventually. And if I'm not going in with like an aerial, I'm reading that I can go in with another laser and then like restart the mix up and do it again. But it just feels very like guessy is what it feels like when I'm playing like that. And I feel like it goes great when my reads are correct, and then I can beat any opponent in the world. Like I play Cody and Zane in friendlies and I do well versus them a lot. But when I go for that and I just completely miss, I get destroyed.
Okay. So I have. So do you ever laser into laser, like laser in place into another one in place?
Yeah, but not like very often. Like it's not a. I might like laser and then like dash back and do a laser. I typically don't do that much like laser.
Why don't we try that?
Alright.
That's the first thing I want to try. So, when we get in, so you know that like when you're about slightly more than like around one dash short hop aerial, like one dash short hop like down air away from someone. That's kind of like the magic laser zone. Like you've
Yeah,
kinda,
that's my space ideally.
yeah. So here's what I'm gonna challenge you to do. When we get into that, and when we get into your space, all I want you to do in these games, because you're gonna play some ranked for me. I want you to shoot a second laser. Then you can do whatever you were going to do. Go ahead and do it. If you want to shoot a third one, totally fine. But let's try to do 2. And there's a reason for this. Why do you think I'm suggesting that we shoot a second laser?
Just to like see what happens in that reality when I shoot 2 instead of just 1, or do anything else besides just 2. Just see what, I don't know, just to see what happens, like basically.
Absolutely.
To put it simply.
Pretty much. So I've given you my spectator ID. I can see you've passed it. Thank you for that. And let's queue up and take a look at some games.
Can you see me? Are you in game?
I'm not in game yet, but I will see when the match starts playing.
Okay.
Do you have texture hacks, by the way?
No, I turned them off.
Okay, much appreciated. That will make this more reliable.
Unranked or ranked?
Whichever you're comfortable with. I usually like ranked, but if you want to experiment in unranked, totally fine.
I'll do ranked. Alright, I'm queuing.
Again, okay, I'm not asking you to do anything like super off the wall. I'm just asking for a second laser when we get into laser stance.
I'm after Ganondorf. Do you want me to play the Ganondorf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we would still laser against Ganondorf.
Yeah.
like unless we get like, we'd have to get something that's like pretty extreme for me not to want to do this against a character, because this matters against every matchup. We just fire again right away.
Okay, so like laser like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm noticing is that you are like doing a better job of locking him down in place compared to if you just went in right away. How does this feel?
It feels funny. It feels well, besides that, feels like versus this Ganondorf player, it feels like when I do go in, I have a little better faith of like expectations. And when I miss, I feel like I'm ready to get out. I feel like I have a little more control, although I feel like it's a bit easier to do that versus Ganondorf. I feel like especially when I get him close to me, I'm hitting more.
Yeah. So, it's almost like we're getting more information because we're taking a little bit more time poking the opponent and opening them up.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
That's got to be valuable.
Yeah, that has to be valuable.
It does feel weird, and I know that you could beat this guy without, like, having to do this, but that's not the point of this.
Yeah.
The point is that we're building discipline, and we're, like, seeing value in, like, a slightly more patient play pattern.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's like the 2 laser minimum rule. It's like not typically something I've really tried before. Not like this. I tried like not approaching in different ways and just like playing super safe, but the specific like laser, I feel like is interesting. I would definitely like to try it on
like a top
Ganondorf.
Yeah, on like Fox or something.
Yeah.
So we've already we're about 10 minutes in, and we've already figured out something that might be like an interesting direction for you to explore going forward against more characters. So how is this going for you?
It's chill. It's hard to know because I'm like, surely I'm just way better than this Ganondorf player. But it's well, I'm trying to like shoot my lasers before every interaction. That's not like a real combo. Like I'm not trying to down air him and then just shoot 2 more lasers. Like I'm trying to make sure I'm going for my hits when they're right in front of me.
Yeah,
and, like,
for sure.
Guaranteed almost. But I don't know. It feels like this guy sucks and he can't handle my lasers. Like, yeah, I'm like, the lasers are too much like pressure for him. And he's just like, God damn, I'm getting shot by so many lasers. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And also, like, when I do, it's like when I shoot the lasers, it's like I'm not even playing the game. And I guess that's like kind of my safe zone. It might be a little risky versus like a really, really fast character like Fox or Sheik or Falcon, but not if I space it properly, ideally.
Well, that's why you have to go fast with them. Like, that's why we actually don't even put in the dash dance. We just do them exactly like you did them there.
Okay.
Because the idea is that the laser into the second laser immediately is safe against those characters. So it stops them from rushing you down. So if they try to, then they're just running into you, and they're closer to you going into the next interaction.
Huh. Yeah. That gives me a whole visual cue to work with if I laser, and then by the time I'm shooting the second one, I see them kind of moving forward a little bit.
Yeah, if they suddenly like twitched and lurched forward a bit when they're in stun, then that lets you know, okay, I forward tilt here, I grab here, like, I like punish them. I attack them, I use my rushdown tools.
I feel like my brain's expanding. That was a good way of one back.
And the thing is, the same thing applies to defense. Like, if they run away from you if you shoot the first laser and then you see them lurch away from you because they've pulled back, then that gives you a clue that like approaching laser is probably okay.
Yeah.
Because they've freed up that space.
And if I have that read and I go for it, and if they still punish me for it, then I suppose that's fair game.
Yeah, and it's like they had to like read you coming in after they backed up. Like, that's, you know, they outplayed you there. Like, but it's not because you did a bad play. It's just that like they happened to have a good thing.
Yeah.
I know it's Ganondorf, like, you could have beaten this guy with your eyes closed, but, like, at the same time...
It's interesting. It is interesting.
One of these days I'll know what your interesting means.
I'm
kidding.
Well, well, you get it. It's just like, I don't know. I don't usually play with like a rule or something like specific that I'm like looking for. I mean, I'm usually like looking for things while I'm playing, but like the whole laser and the process between the second laser and the first laser, and it's like I can get a tiny bit of information in between these two lasers. It's like I may have thought of something like similar like that before, but not in recent times. And I like the idea that I don't have to just shoot 2. I could shoot like 4 or 5 if I wanted. I can like shoot as many as I want as long as I'm like protecting the space. Let me queue another one.
Yeah.
You want me to queue another one?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And do you find this like live coaching do you find like doing it this way is like working for you?
Yeah, I think I prefer something like this. I think this probably has to be the best way for me to learn, because I feel like I can learn by myself when I think out loud and talk out loud and notice what's going on, and I can kind of coach myself through it. But when I'm just kind of playing, and I have someone else kind of feeding me ideas or information, it just feels a lot more like I don't know if my subconscious or my conscious is taking it in. I guess it's kind of my subconscious is the one playing and doing all this stuff, but I am kind of consciously trying to like laser because that's not I don't usually just laser before everything, but spamming this one like specific interaction before I do anything, I feel like is kind of helping my brain morph like when it's good, when it's bad, what's good, what's bad, when stuff like that.
So against him, what I would say is shoot high ones.
Yeah.
And mix up with like mix up with mid-height ones. High ones to like stop him from coming down, like to police his shoot like high short op lasers to police his like jump patterns when he's on the side flat.
I also am noticing sometimes when I instinctually do not do like 2 lasers minimum. I'm trying to like stick to the rule.
It's okay. If you catch yourself slipping, it's all good. Again, I understand that these are high level opponents. Like these are fairly solid opponents. If you're probably at like what, Grandmaster?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so you're fighting decent people, which is fine. Try to wait for him to like get to the peak of the shine trajectory and just spike him. Like, why are we doing so much effort? Like we make life so hard for ourselves. It's so hard to be like the king of pop.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to be normal. It just depends. I don't know.
Oh, he got because the second one hit us. That's why it worked.
Yeah.
That's funny. Let's not go onto the top platform if we can help it against this guy. Against his like spooky ass up air.
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, it was slightly off. I've been spamming that like so much lately. If it would have killed if he was a little lower, but I should have just back here and got him off stage.
Could you have also Could you have also just shined him to shine up B off the top, like do the Magi thing?
Yeah. I definitely could have done that. I could have done a bunch of things.
Okay. You know what? Honestly, like, I'm not gonna worry about... I feel like you, of all players, is not somebody who needs, like, help with their combo game for the most part, so I'm gonna focus more on neutral
Yeah,
and, like, edge guarding.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Let's try to... He's using his shield a lot. Let's just, like, grab and forward throw him a little more.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's something I haven't done these last 2 games, or 3 games, whatever.
Yeah, like, let's just toss him around. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Because, like, the other thing is that, like, that's one of the effects all these lasers have on people.
Yeah, they shield. Especially at high percent, they love to shield.
Yeah, so just toss him off the stage. Let's do a simple edge guard, simple Gimp's coverage, and then, like, go from there. How are you finding the 2-laser thing versus him, by the way?
Much more difficult. I know that if he's kind of close to me, he might just nair at me, and I might get poked because I'm not, like, doing it perfectly, so to speak.
Yeah. So that's a spacing thing, though. Like, that's something you can get better at.
Yes. I like it. It seems there are some obvious points where it's like, oh, this seems like good or even broken, because it's like like right there. It's like I can see him like not backing up, and I'm like, okay, you're eager to try to hit me, especially because you're down right now. And now this game is just really easy.
And I bet it's not usually this. I bet it's not usually this organized.
Yeah, not with, and I'm still like, it's not in my muscle memory at all to laser before I like do anything. But it is something I'm gonna be playing around with like all day today. Today's a big melee day for Bob. I'm playing in some net play. I'm playing Cody's West Coast net play tournament, like me, Salt, J, Moot Club, some other people.
Nice.
But so I'm gonna be playing a good couple hours before that.
I hope you win.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna be. I hope I play good. I'm gonna be messing around with like this laser concept.
I actually like down. Okay, so this is gonna be controversial, but I like down throw against Falcon specifically, just because his wake up options are so crap.
Yeah, I do too. I also like it in a couple other matchups, and I'm absolutely no stranger to down throw. I can get really meaty punishes sometimes off it.
Well, yeah, because it's like a knockdown, right? So like if you get shine forward smash down air like up tilt with Falco on that, then like yeah, you're just cooking.
Yeah.
I like forward throw more when it's online, but forward throw is not online at 0.
Yeah.
Trying to break this man's shield.
I'm just
You're having fun. You're having fun. It's all good. I get it.
I'm trying to get the lasers out. Sometimes I want to like jump up and hit them, but I'm trying to like play the ground game more. That's something that Salt really loves to spam versus me. I should have done it. Is she'll jump on the platforms, and then when she comes off with like a stomp or a knee, and it's like the floor is lava almost. It's like I have to avoid her like coming off because she might just somehow kill me.
Is she on the top or side platform?
Both.
Okay,
at the same time.
let this guy go on to the the next time we fight a Falcon, because this guy's gonna lose here. That's fine. The next time we fight a Falcon, let's shoot high lasers to cover her approach zone. Because we're gonna
like so if she's like coming off the side plat and I'm probably under the other side plat, if Falcon like jumps out with nair or near stomp, are you saying like I should try to like high laser that, like laser Falcon out of the air basically?
Well, you use it to cover her from being able to, like, go there, and then you move under the laser. Like, you fire the lasers moving at her. So, like, if she charges at you, like, the laser's over top of your head. So then she just gets eaten by it. So you do one in place, and then the next ones are moving towards her.
I feel like I gotta time that pretty well. Because if I mistime it and it, like, goes past or before, I feel like,
Yeah, like, obviously there's an execution requirement. But, like, the idea is that the laser is your umbrella.
Nice.
I feel like she is the character with this 2 laser thing doesn't work against like the as well just because she's in the air a lot, but maybe we can make it kind of work here. I don't know how we'd modify it, so you're the Falco professional. I'm gonna let you figure that out. Or you can just fight the matchup as normal. Up to you.
Yeah, let me do something. Let me quit out on this Jigglypuff. Let me fight any other character that's not a Puff or an obscure low tier, mid tier. I'd like to ideally play like a matchup that's like a little bit faster.
Sure. Yeah, no, totally fine. I think so.
I'll play Samus.
Let me just reset this then. Yeah, we're gonna have to reshare the broadcast.
Oh,
by
okay,
disconnect. Yeah, because disconnecting. Yeah.
There we go. I'm broadcasting.
Perfect. Samus should be fine.
Just started. Yeah, Samus should be fine.
What is your name, by the way?
You can call me Bobby, or if you want, you can call me Isaac. I don't really have a preference. I guess I prefer Bobby if anything, but
Bobby it is.
If you want, I was just gonna keep calling you Kirby. I don't know what everybody else calls you.
KK usually, so you're on the right track.
KK, okay. I'll call you KK or Kirby. Surely you don't mind being called Kirby.
Kirby's fine.
Also, I like that you play Ness. I play Zelda, and I really love playing Zelda.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like when people have like a favorite low tier and they're passionate about it.
You play Sheik for 10 years, and I just was done. I was so done with it.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Why?
Because it's Sheik, and I can definitely like I would expect that, so it's funny when I hear it. Like I can see how after playing Sheik for that long, you would like want to play another character.
I still think she's my favorite character, like fighting game character of all time, and she's like my baby. But like she's grown up, and that's fine. Oh, I think you can just hog that with like roll.
Yeah, yeah.
She's weirdly hard to like lock down sometimes.
Yeah, she has some good movements to keep her safe and get her out of a lot of spots, especially if she's moving backwards. It's definitely rewiring my brain, trying to like laser before I do anything. And then I'm like, should I go in? Should I not go in? Should I be looking for something? I feel like just this concept alone, I could like play for hours and hours trying to fuck with it. It feels a little like I'm being watched, I guess, and like everything I'm doing is like under, not scrutiny, but like, you know what I mean. So I feel like when I go play later today, I'll have a fun time. Just messing around with the, I don't know, I like the laser, and I liked when I could see the signs of them, like, not moving left and right, not moving in and out, not being super evasive. I like when I can make them feel, like, a bit stubborn and, like, they're taking a risk by not moving back, so to speak.
Yeah, and the thing is like, if they start moving back, then you can just, like, punish it with, like, you then unlock, like, a really powerful overshoot, because you can approach it at that point. Yeah. So I'm going to make one small punish suggestion. When you have somebody on the side platform and you land with them, a lot of times you down air, but like down airing is kind of slow if you're like going into it from like directly like that. I would just look for a ground move. Yeah, that's the only thing really. Like if you knock somebody onto the ground and they're in like no tech, just look for, like I would look for the...
Like a smash or?
Yeah, F smash, down tilt, up tilt, anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're already in a confined space. You don't need, like, the down airs efficiency all the time.
I see. Samus is a problem.
Nah. Maybe in this one game, but we'll beat her.
No. What if I lose? Is it okay if I lose?
Yeah, of course. We're learning something new.
Okay.
Why would that be a problem?
It wouldn't be. I don't know. Ideally, I would like to win every game that I play.
Yeah, but like, you know what? We don't control that.
You know what? You are so right. We don't control that. That is something I know when I play in tournament. I have given up rights to, like, winning or losing or how my bracket does. I really just try to focus on my gameplay. And I'm like, I don't know. I have a funny little mindset where I'm like, well, I know it's not predetermined, but I'm like, it's the same thing every time. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try to win. And then if I might get outplayed, I might lose. I might make some bad decisions. I might make a lot of good ones. But, like, ultimately, it's like, I can only do what I'm going to do. So it's like, thinking like that really relieves a lot of, like, anxiety and stress when it comes to playing. Wow, I'm just dead off that.
It's all good. So let's slow down for 1 second. So, I want to point out one thing. When the laser into laser needs to be done in quick succession. We don't have once we get into laser stance, we don't have enough time to like dash dance if the opponent we don't have enough time if the opponent like bulldozes into us with dash attack or wave dash forward tilt to like dash dance first, because again, Falco's slow. So it's really important to make sure the lasers together are tight. That's the only thing I'm going to comment on that strategy. The other thing about Samus is just tossing her around is fine. Or spacing back air, very, very good versus her shield. Like, tipping her back air should be, like, a common shield pressure thing. Because we just, like, stay outside of her up B range. And then just, like, she has to wave dash, she has to jump. That's the only thing I'm going to say there.
Okay. Wow.
So we know better than to like jump into Samus with back air. Come on, like when she's she's crouching.
I'm like, what the hell is she doing? And I'm like, what am I supposed to do about that?
You don't have. Why do you have to do anything about it?
I guess I don't.
You could go around it and like you could go around it if you wanted to. So she's power shielding. She's making her game. So we want to shoot the lasers lower.
Uh-huh. I think that was a good spot where I feel like the double laser I should have prioritized keeping myself safe.
Mm-hmm. I think I've lost connection. That's okay. Let me just refresh.
Are you back in?
So I'm just seeing if it'll connect.
Okay. If it doesn't, I can restart it right now.
It's all good. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Do you find Samus to be a problem matchup?
I don't really get to play any good ones. I feel like with my I'm trying to laser right now, I feel like it's like kind of completely throwing off my gameplay. And I feel like I don't have any. I just fucking died. I feel like I don't have any. It doesn't feel natural, so to speak. And this character is like, I don't know. To be honest, I don't really lose to this character almost ever, unless I'm playing maybe like a couple Samus players. And the last couple times I've played some good Samus players in tournament, I've won. But most times when I play this matchup, I'm like a decent amount better than the Samus, so it's like kind of hard to tell. But I would imagine if I like had to play like Morse code or weapons, like I would not be like, it'd probably be like 50-50 in my head. Like if I don't play good, I'll probably lose.
Gotcha.
Which I feel like that about a lot of matchups, but Samus is definitely not like nowhere close to like my strongest matchup. I don't feel like I'm bad at it, but like right now I'm trying to like shoot this laser. It's like I don't know, I'm getting whooped, and then
yeah. So I think that with this one, we need to remember that we're shooting like we want to make sure we're doing low laser to start. Because like we want to make it as hard to power shield as possible. So we don't want to shoot like mid and high ones, ideally.
Okay.
Yeah, like, so that forward tilt, like, she moved into us on the laser, and then we were able to, like, get the F tilt after.
Yeah.
Because we had the confirmation that she advanced during, like, the beat, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm playing Donkey Kong, Akir.
All right.
This will be an interesting one for laser. I just have to remember that after I shoot laser, I have the freedom to do
whatever you want. And again, it's just when you get into the stance, like when you're at like the one approaching short hop, like one full dash short hop aerial distance.
That's when you want me to be doing the laser?
That's when you do the laser.
Okay.
So it's not like every time. It's just when you're at the right distance.
Yeah. Okay. That will take some muscle memory and habit building to like remember and get used to. Not too much though. But I see that. I was like kind of missing that piece of information.
Yeah, we talked about it, but like again, like I'm not expecting you to remember everything because this is live coaching.
It is like difficult. It is funnily like difficult to like apply something when I like so much insane muscle memory built up and stuff like that.
No, it makes perfect sense. Like again, dude, I played this game for as long as you have. Like I kind of know what you're going through. Granted, Sheik is not quite as technical as Falco, but like, you know, I played at a high level too.
Yeah. Yeah, you did play at a high level. Probably. Well, do you know what was your rank?
My height?
Your peak? Yeah.
7th.
7th. What year is that? 2013.
2013, I was 9th. 7th was the year before, 2012.
Dang, I actually didn't realize you were so good. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was, for 4 years, according to the historians, I was top 10.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Well, okay, so I wasn't ranked in 2011 because I was finishing school during that. Like, I was doing some school stuff during that time, but like 2010, 2012, 2013, I was top 10.
Yeah. Damn. So why did you stop playing? I don't really know much about you other than that you played Sheik and you were good back in the day, and now you play Ness and are a coach. There was like, I had to take about a year off from the game in 2014 just because of like personal things between me and another player. And then that sucked. And then when I got back into it, it just wasn't the same really. I just didn't want to my head wasn't in a good spot. I had some other personal problems going on. So it's just, I really never really found the fire like in the same way again. Okay.
But I also think that that's partly because like when I kind of wanted to like, I think I was kind of done after I beat Hungrybox in some ways. Because I basically just wanted to prove to Mewtwo King and Amsa that, like, it could be done.
Yeah.
And then, like, once that had done, like, I was like, okay,
that's
now
one of your biggest goals and most passionate goals, I feel you.
Yeah, so then afterwards, it's just really hard. And I'd already beaten Kevin. And, like, that was one of the other big ones. Because I was like, he got mad at me when I threw our set at pound 4. And he was like, if you ever do that again, then I'm gonna, like, I'm never gonna speak with you. And I was like, God damn it. So then I, like, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, what do you mean me? So then, at ROM 3, then I beat him, and I was like, oops. I didn't actually mean to do that, but it just kind of happened.
That's funny.
Oh, you could have gotten that. If you went straight at the edge, you would have beaten him for it.
Yeah, I was like, let me not risk my whole stock for this. I wasn't like super confident.
I respect it. Honestly, like, you're winning the neutral so badly that, like, I totally get it. Like, why, like, if everything continues as it is, then, like, you're expected to win this by a landslide, so, like, who...
That's why I made that, that's why I made that.
Good on you for identifying the play pattern, like, the fight dynamic.
Funnily enough, this matchup is, a one where I've had a good amount of trouble with in the past. Samus is, like, typically I try to shoot not very many lasers. I try to shoot them fewer and more random. I try to shoot them with more, I don't know, intention. But versus Donkey Kong, I feel like shooting more lasers is really, really helpful.
Yeah, like, so already we're seeing a problem matchup where, like, this has benefit, basically.
Yeah.
So psychonessly, for, like, not losing to Quang and, like, Akir and, like, you know, Junebug, I think
it's just those ones. Those psychopath players, they are all very good with Donkey Kong. It is not a joke.
I hope I can one day get as good with Ness as they are with Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I hope that with my Zelda. But I play my Zelda a bit more casually, but I do really have fun playing her.
What is it about her that you like?
Oh man, I really like her movement. I really like her. I like how all her. It's funny when I play her for a little bit, my ground game with Falco, like I'll play more grounded and I'll look for more like forward tilt, forward smashes, stuff like that. I like her back air, her forward air a lot. I appreciate some of her combos. I like the fact that I can be losing a lot of the game and still win. Whereas Falco, it's like I can be winning the whole game but still lose. This is what it feels like.
Oh yeah, she's got the power hit character comeback factor. Like you just get like three, you get a kick, it combos into another kick, you get like one read, and then you get a third kick, and then they're already at like 90.
I really enjoy that. I do enjoy that. I like that she's like slower and her tech skill isn't super demanding. It's more just like spacing. Maybe like Puff. I do like that a lot. I like a lot of I like that she's the shitty character, so that when I win with her, it feels good and it feels rewarding. Compared to like, I don't know, if I'm playing some Ganondorf, like my first opponent today, I'm like, yeah, I mean, one, I play Falco. Two, you probably just have not played this game as much as me, and I'm probably way better than you. But it's like, feels less rewarding. But if I were to go Zelda, it's like, oh, well, all of a sudden I'm like on your level and I'm bad like you, so now we get to have like more competitive games. I really appreciate that instead of like just only playing Falco. Sometimes I have to play her just for like a detox.
Palate cleanser.
Yeah, exactly. And,
I love that. That's kind of like what Ness is to me, like, except it's like, you know, like a decade-long one.
Yeah.
But, like, I like that he's fat. I like that you push more buttons with him than you do with Sheik. Like, I like how his DJC work. I love how he's, like, kind of has to be, like... I just love him. He's sick.
Yeah. Wow.
Alright. So I'm noticing that he's, like, going around the lasers. So this is kind of like a mini Salt. This is good.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is, when we notice him going around the first laser, instead of firing the second one, because we can see him doing that, or after the second one, we're going to use our up tilt or our, like, back air for defense. Let's go let's go back to that level. I know that's a hard level, but let's try it with what we now know.
Alright. When I see him go up, I will defend.
Yep. So, okay, let's, instead of following up him onto the platform with Shine, let's just do short up air.
Okay.
Because we want to stay underneath him and abuse our positional advantage, right?
Yeah. Makes sense. Up air.
Yep. It's good. Recognizing the situation counts as, like, doing it.
Yeah. Ah, I thought I get that laser out.
Nice.
Oh. That was right there. He went airborne.
Yep, but you got out of the way. Still counts. Like, again, the idea is that we're just not gonna let him have things. I love that you're shooting the high lasers below his platform, his, like, shield drop, so he can't just, like, do it.
Yeah.
Let's grab him in the corner, because, like, he's looking for counter hit there.
Yeah, definitely is looking for a counter hit there.
Yeah. Whenever the opponent's looking for counter hit, especially, like, let's just, like, focus more on position and winning the rock, paper, scissors, like, decisively.
Yeah. Yeah, the backer's really good when he's above me. I don't like that.
When he goes low like that, just wait and roll.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Because you have the right idea, you're just going for back airs when you don't have to. Nice. It's all good.
This is very risky by me. Okay. Yeah, I deserve that. The punish game is just so ridiculous. I gotta get hit one fucking time. That was good practice. I feel like that leaves me with a lot to think about in practice, especially the like when I see them going into the air, shifting to more of like a defensive line. Like, don't let this guy land on top of me. Don't let him land right next to me with a back air, or if it's Falcon, like with a nair or knee. Like the really, I don't know. And like when you said like on the ledge, like look for a grab, because they're gonna be looking for a reversal. It's like, yeah, that puts it into perspective rather than just like trying to play like a raw mix-up. Can maybe just like play at a little distance, and then when I see the grab that I'm looking for, because I know he's in the corner, and he's like, well, if I get hit in the corner, I'm probably gonna die. I'm like, yeah, I can get the grab there, but mostly the like laser. Like I liked the lasers when we were both on the ground, and then I liked when I realized that he was jumping around. Like, see, if you didn't point it out, I probably would have like missed that. Like that's what he was doing, is like kind of playing the game like jump around, because everybody plays against lasers a little differently. But I noticed that, especially that game 2, he was getting me like jumping around my lasers, and like when he would land on me, I didn't like defend myself properly. It's that defending myself properly versus like Falcon jumping off the platform, or I don't know, I guess DK coming down from the air, or even Puff coming down from the air. Like that takes a lot of like practice, and that just takes a lot of practice and like, I don't know, mental rewiring, I guess. Do you want to play another one?
We're actually at time, I believe. Okay. But yeah, I'll watch one more. I mean, these are good matches.
Okay, play one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gives me a lot to think about, especially for my first lesson. I will take away the laser practice. I'll remember it. I'll try not to. It's hard to like not think of that as like the only thing. Like I have to do this. So it does take time to like incorporate it and stuff like that. But it's a very simple concept that I feel confident I can play with it more than next time I talk to you. Come back with like a new palette of information.
Okay. And you know, no pressure or anything. But do you think that this is something you'd like to pursue further?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
When, I'm not sure. I guess that's on me. But yeah, definitely, I would definitely like to pursue it further. I'm playing in that tournament tonight. I mean, anytime I play in a tournament, I usually get really good information. It's kind of weird because when I started like practicing stuff like this, it kind of like overrides my like instinct and stuff like that. So it's like a bit tricky, like when I'm playing in a tournament, because usually when I play in a tournament, I'm like, all right, I don't need to learn right now. I just need to play how I already know how to play. But when I play and like try little stuff like this, because I do stuff like this, but usually not with like laser. Like I'll try finding a bunch of forward smashes. I'll try like seeing if I can get jab shine. Like, I'll try like little movement or like little attack options. I'll try to spam them a little more than I would to try to figure out where they're good and where they're bad. And that's basically what I'm doing with this laser. Although funnily enough, I don't think I've ever really practiced specifically with like laser, especially when they're like in my threat range, like right in front of me. And I think that's also a hard part, is like,
yeah, like you can when you see him caping, now you have a cue. Like this can be another part of the system. Like we see, like we know to like attack him during that time.
Yeah, that makes me think like, yeah, there's a bunch of every character has a bunch of Qs and they're all different. I gotta find out like what each Q is. That I feel like will take me a good amount of time to get used to.
Well, how would you say? What would you say if I suggested we meet back in 2 weeks?
That's a good amount of time. I feel like I will be, I mean, not a completely different player, but, and it's not even that I don't know, the laser thing is like an end all be all or anything like that, but I do think it'll help like refresh the way I view neutral a little bit. And
Yeah.
part of what I was exactly
you just
asking
did it
for,
there, right
yeah.
there, like because you defended your space with it at your strong position. He crashed into it with his nair, and then he died. Like,
Yeah.
okay, didn't die, but like you got like you got a huge conversion off it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like when they jump in the air and like that type of stuff, and then also when they're on the ledge, especially high percent, knowing that they're gonna shield, going for grab, and then especially the laser when I'm like at this distance, I feel like that those are all kind of things that like what I was asking about, like more control, more knowing what's going on, like having visual things I can look for, like them not retreating means a whole lot. If I'm like lasering right in front of your face and you're just not going anywhere like that, I mean, he just fucking gave me a free opening. Spamming pills.
Yeah. So like so all the things you asked for, you wanted visual cues on like what to do, you wanted more control over the game state, and you wanted to understand like how you're getting your hits better. It looks like we've kind of given you all of that in a couple of spots. So not bad for one lesson, right?
No, actually amazing for one lesson, to be honest. I feel like another pair of eyes is always good, but I guess it's extra good when it's someone who's already like one of the best players in the world and who was one of the best players in the world for a really long time. And yeah, I guess not surprising that you know a thing or two about Melee. I'm always a little like, I'm not skeptical, but I'm a little like cautious about like non-Falco players giving me Falco advice, just because I'm like, this is like kind of complicated, but I think that I am the complicated one, and I think a character like Falco can definitely be played very simple.
I don't think there's anything simple about what you're doing. I think that you're just establishing good footing, and then you're like abusing positional advantage, just like any good character is.
Yeah.
It's just that like, you know, he has to have, because he does it with an attack as opposed to like an implicit thing like a movement, there's a little bit more to what he's got going on. But remember, like, my main colleague for learning this game was Kevin, right? Like, it was PPMD. So, you know, you hang out with Kevin enough, you like learn a thing or two about Falco.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, because like this is all his stuff. Like, this is him in fiction stuff, basically.
Yeah, I've got fiction lessons before, and he definitely was very adamant about not playing laserless Falco, and especially like the double laser rule. I specifically remember from him.
How come it didn't really soak in then when you worked with him? What do you think? What do you think it was?
That's a really good question. I feel like I feel like it didn't really solve my problem. I feel like I didn't really, I don't want to say believe. Not that I'm like all of a sudden a believer now or anything, but I'm just like, I think maybe in a way he described it, I didn't really like know. I was like, okay, yeah, shoot 2 lasers, but then what? But I feel like for some reason now I have a better idea of like and what. Although I still need to like play a bunch of different matchups and iron out like all the character specifics. But I feel like I'm not really sure. I just feel like
I have an idea.
Gameplay, yeah, the ideas is like makes a little bit more sense. Maybe with the way you explained it, or
I don't think
I
it
don't
is.
know.
I think
it was a pretty long time ago.
Let me offer us an alternative explanation. It's because I don't actually explain it. I have you do it.
That's fair. I also feel like it was a bit of like a in one ear out the other thing compared to like this is definitely personally probably how I learned the best because it's making sense to me right now. I'm also like trying really hard to like remember what you say and make the right.
I love that you were
choices and stuff.
aggressive. No, I love that you were aggressive there on that back air, knowing that Doc had to like do that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's that like good player shit.
Yeah. It's a lot for me to think about. I'm actually gonna write down a couple things so I make sure I don't forget it. But I am gonna be playing Melee a lot today, and I'm gonna play with that mindset of like one, trying to get close enough to them to get my laser out, and trying to make sure when I am getting close to them, I'm not killing myself. I'm not getting dash attacked or like overextended on or approached on.
Do you want a tip on that, or do you want to figure? Okay, cool. So, against ground characters, you want to usually start with. I think the big thing that you're going to struggle with is figuring out what type of laser you want to do. So my general pointer there would be the more likely the opponent is to approach from the air, the more likely it is that you want to shoot a high laser or a middle height laser. Yeah. The more likely they are to approach from the ground.
Marth dash attack, Sheik dash attack.
Samus wave dash forward tilt, Samus dashing power shield, anything like that. Then the more likely you are to want to shoot a low laser first.
Okay.
So like the first laser should always be like based on. I think the first laser should almost always be based on like just what's safest. So generally like low laser to start, second or like low laser or high laser depending on the opponent's position and what their character wants to do. The second one, you have a little bit more room to play with, but I'd say that still you following that rule of like giving some attention to what the opponent's character likes to do is generally a good starting point. You do have a little bit more room to be like liberal with how you do it, but you'd also generally want to stop them from being able to run forward. So it's But like generally speaking, the more likely someone is to jump, like dash jump at you, the more likely you want like a higher laser or like a middle height one. And if they approach mainly from the ground, you want a low one.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that's a easy rule to go by. It's an easy thing to remember.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, like, we both know this game's complicated and difficult, so you'll find people who break the mold on these sometimes, but then that gives you information about the fact that they do something weird, because that becomes distinct.
Yeah, and that way I can get a whole lot of information just by shooting some lasers.
Yeah, the value of your laser has increased tremendously. That's really the big thing here. So, do you want to meet back in 2 weeks? We'll talk on the 6th?
Yeah, the 6th. I'm assuming the 2 weeks is about what is it, Thursday? I'm assuming it's a Thursday.
Yep. Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday should work for me. I should be here on Thursday.
Perfect.
I know I'll obviously like message like beforehand and stuff like that. If I have any like broad questions or just any questions at all, I assume I can just message you on Discord.
For anything related to the topic, the subject matters, the subjects that we've covered before, you absolutely can message me. So if you have questions about like, hey, so this happened, it was kind of weird, I'm not sure like how to like classify this or whatever, like related to lasers, absolutely fair game. Okay,
that's helpful. All right, I will keep you no longer, but
I'll probably please I'll probably tune into your stream at some point tonight. It's a busy day for me though. I've got like 5 other sessions. So
yeah, well, it's also like I think it starts. I'm assuming you're East Coast time.
I am.
Okay, yeah, I think the tournament for you starts at like 10 o'clock, so it's pretty late. So I don't know how late you're usually up, but I think the good matches will be going on around like 10, 11, 11:30, stuff like that.
Well, if you're on stream, shoot me a link. If I have time, I'd love to take a look-see. In the meantime, I'll let you go, but this was lovely, and I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, KirbyKaze. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Later, Bobby. Same to you.